I think the most important advice for pastors is to be honest with their congregations and the leadership of their congregations about what their needs are for providing for their families. Churches should compensate pastors so that they don't have to worry about how to pay bills, and should be free to be able to focus on the ministry of the church. And sometimes pastors are reluctant to be honest with their congregations about what their very real needs are to provide for their families, their health benefits, to provide for children who may need to go to college at some point in time. And so the main thing is to educate our pastors who come through MTS to be very honest with people about what their needs are. Well, financial strain is a real issue for lots of people. It doesn't only affect pastors. The recession has caused financial strain across our economy, but clergy over the last 50 years have fallen further and further behind some other professionals in terms of pay. Many churches have moved more to part-time ministry rather than full-time ministry, and that necessitates pastors having to find secular employment outside the church. And sometimes that can be a good model of ministry to use. At other times, churches expect pastors to work for part-time pay, but to be available 24/7. And so being very realistic about what the expectations of the congregation and its leaders are for the clergy so that they can provide for themselves and their families is an important aspect of this whole discussion. Well, I think the issue will persist. I think it is an issue that's not going away anytime soon. And my real goal and passion is to help our graduates of MTS to be able to talk honestly about financial matters across the board so that churches understand the importance of good stewardship. Many times pastors come out of seminary wanting to do the Lord's work in the world, but with an attitude that talking about money is somehow beneath them, and our resources are an absolute central part of our discipleship as Christians. And so I think if pastors knew how to talk about money, not only in terms of their personal finances, the church's finances, and to educate people how to be good stewards of their resources, then we'd be a big step down the road to trying to help churches deal adequately with questions of resources and how to compensate their ministers adequately for the work that they expect of them. It's going to be an ongoing issue that takes a lot of thought and a lot of preparation. A lot of times lay people want to do right by their pastor, but don't really know what the needs are and expectations are. And so with a lot of financial issues in our culture, we've treated money as a taboo topic sometimes, when Jesus talks as much about money and resources as any other topic, any other single topic in the New Testament. And so we have to learn again how to talk about money in a faithful way so that it's not either the pastor's trying to get all he or she can for himself or herself, or just ignoring the issue and hoping that it will go away. And so the key is learning how to deal adequately with the big picture about resources. Obviously, in this country, we have more than most people around the world have, but we have bought into our consumerist culture. And so basic conversations about how much is enough and how we live simply and faithfully, so that we have a culture of generosity and a culture of realizing that God will provide for us, as long as we know how to take care of what we have been given and to use it wisely. That's important. I'm very excited about the new required course in financial leadership that Dr. Ross and I taught as a pilot course in the spring, and will begin this fall as a required course for all of our Master of Divinity students. And in that course, we hope to educate future pastors about all kinds of financial matters in the church, so that they understand the way the economy works, so that they understand their responsibility to help their parishioners learn how to handle their resources adequately, so they learn how to avoid debt, which can become such a burden for them personally and for members of their congregation, so that they can provide the leadership that every church needs to help their members, their parishioners, learn how to deal wisely with money. That class focuses then on personal financial matters, but it also focuses on the real biblical and theological themes that every pastor needs to know. We read a wonderful book called Neither Poverty Nor Riches, which talks about how the Bible is concerned about how we deal with our material resources, but doesn't call us either to get rich or to live in poverty. Neither of those make for real human flourishing, and that's what pastors need to do, is to help people figure out how to live within the means that God provides for them, to share with the ministries of the church and ministries to people who have less than we do, and to do it in an environment of faith and a culture of sharing, so that churches can learn how to not get themselves into trouble by overextending themselves, either individually or as a church congregation, either one.